Okay, I know, already manga recommendations too. Again, like I addressed in the last video, took a 3-week break. I apologize for that. Anyway, the upload should be coming out very consistently. Now, on with manga recommendations too. Same rule apply here. Just because a manga is in this video doesn't mean it won't get its own video. As always, if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe down below manga or anime I should check out, because if I'm recommending you stuff, you should be able to recommend me stuff. Anyway, on with the recommendations. The first recommendation is a series that I should preference you have to be in the right mindset for. It gives off the same style of story like Goodnight Poon Poon, so make sure you have the right mindset before going in on this series. Now, the series is called The Horizon. So, The Horizon is a very dark and grim story. Now, it doesn't give you our protagonist's name, which I actually really enjoy for the most part, but it does kind of annoy me a bit when it comes to talking about the series. But for the sake of the video, we'll call him the boy. Now, the story follows the boy in a depressing post-apocalyptic world and him changing over time and learning and growing as a person. Now, even in this post-apocalyptic world, and him changing over time and learning and growing as a person, even in this post-apocalyptic world. Now, you might be wondering why I'm not going over and going super in detail into the story. That's because of the fact that this series is only 20 chapters. Yeah, super short, but I don't want to ruin the experience because this manga left me with a feeling I haven't had since I read Goodnight Poon Poon and I watched all of Evangelion. So please go read this absolute masterpiece of a story. To give you a good idea of what happened after I read it, I read this story and I felt so empty and sad, but had this weird feeling of melancholy that I had to go to sleep. I was so mentally taxed and I had to go to sleep because the author of the story put an emotion that I can't even put in the words into an art form. The story is an absolute masterpiece, and I do recommend it to anybody who is a fan of just pure works of art to go read it, and can't recommend it enough. The story is perfect, and the series is called The Horizon. Now, recommendation number 2. This is a sports manga, and I know before you click off this video, please just preference, bear with me, just calm down, sit down, and listen. This sports manga is called Rookies. Now, Rookies, arguably, in my opinion, is the best sports manga ever made. Now, Rookies follows Koichi Kawato, a teacher who has a heart of gold. He's a teacher I wish I had in high school. Now, Koichi comes to his new school and discovers the baseball club of the school is ignoring baseball and is more of a club of delinquents, and overall doesn't really care that it's called the baseball club and does whatever they want. Now, Koichi finds out about this and tries his best to rebuild the club and change everyone to chase the dreams that they all wish they could achieve. Now, you see, the reason this is because Koichi is a teacher we all wish we had in high school. A teacher who cares about you and the dreams you have for your future and wants you to succeed in those dreams regardless of how outlandish they sound. Now, the baseball club, they don't care about that in the beginning because they want to stay on the top of the school. You see, since they're a club of delinquents, they basically run the school since the other teachers don't care about these kids at all. The entire first chunk of the story, it's Koichi rebuilding the school from the ground up, getting kids to trust him, and convincing the baseball team to follow their dreams and take towards nationals. And it's a really heartwarming story about sportsmanship, growing as a person, and overall, a story that tugs at your heartstrings. Despite being a sports manga, it is indeed one of the best things I have ever read, and I want to pass it on to you, so please, in your manga recommendations, and stuff that you are reading over time, add to the list the manga called Rookies. Okay, now for this third recommendation, I'm going to recommend a series that is actually quite popular, and I know I said in preference that this manga recommendations video wasn't going to have popular stories, but the third story I was going to recommend, I kind of wanted to make a separate video on, and that was going to be my next video I'm working on, so stay tuned for that. But this series that I'm going to be recommending, I have noticed despite its popularity, a lot of people actually have not seen or read the story, at least the people that I've been talking to as of late and seeing all over the internet, and that story and series is called Neon Genesis Evangelion. I know, the Evangelion franchise, really popular, but I have, again, like I said, noticed that a lot of people don't actually know the story and only know it because of the internet due to memes and just other stuff like through TikTok and stuff. This franchise is a masterpiece. You see, this is one of the most impactful stories that I've ever watched, and I just have to talk about it. Now, the series follows our protagonist Shinji Ikari in his journey through one of the worst lives I've ever seen a fictional character have. You see, Evangelion is a series about depression and identity crisis and a kid having a mental breakdown. Now, this is super exaggerated for story reasons, but overall, the message comes across very crystal clear. And all the message in the story despite it being exaggerated, you still sympathize for Shinji and can see yourself in him. So we all go through something like this in our lives. You have characters as well which have a similar mental problems about the story and have their own issues, and overall you have characters that you can all sympathize with even if you don't sympathize with Shinji. Now the characters and their reactions and behaviors are all super realistic, and the character development over the story is also one of the best I've ever read. It's super realistic and it's really, really good. It's very short too, only 25 episodes with a movie. Now, it also has one of the best sequences in all of anime and manga. Now, the only issue I would have with Eva that I'm going to be going over is the watch list. Now, the watch list for Eva is kind of complicated. You see, you have Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is 26 episodes. You watch the first 25 episodes, then you go watch the movie called End of Evangelion, then you watch episode 26. None of the other stuff matters, like Evangelion Death True and all that, none of that matters. Just the stuff that I put there. Then you have a collection of 4 films, which the community calls the Rebuild films. Now, the Rebuild films are like a separate timeline in the story of Eva, and they are overall really good. Personally, I don't like the 4th film, but I know people that do. Now, you have the 4 films, which are Evangelion 1.0, then you have 2.0, then you have Evangelion 3.0, then you have Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time. Now, I know that seems like a lot of stuff to watch, but it really isn't. Even if it's a journey that is long in some people's opinion, it is a perfect franchise. It is worth giving a shot. There is a manga, but I won't go into that because of the fact that the anime did come out first, and the manga is a retelling / adaptation of the anime. I'm currently cooking up a video on that because I want to have a video talking about the manga and why I enjoy it despite its differences in the story. Now, I do recommend the Evangelion franchise. Like I said, it's one of the greatest things I've ever laid my eyes upon, and I was able to watch, and I have the opportunity to be talking about it now. Now, that is all for recommendations. I know this video seemed kind of short compared to the other manga recommendations. The series that I wanted to talk about, I kind of want to make a lot of videos on them on their own. But I still wanted to give you guys a clear cut of what I think you guys should be watching or reading that I think I enjoy, and I hope you all enjoy too if you do check them out. And as always, if you like the video, please go down below, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.